Good morning, world citizens. My name is Davinci Jeremy, and my channel is dedicated to a very important topic that everyone needs to learn because everyone needs to know how to save and invest. Today's video, it will be talking about the new format, why saving and investing, and why I said I'd go all in at the top. Some Bitcoin TA, and finally, questions and answers. This new format, right, was created because you voted, and I will start doing 10 to 15 minute videos from now on. And yeah, this is going to somehow fit into 10 to 15 minutes, all that those topics I talked about. And the video's main topic will be short and sweet. We're going to do 2 to 3 minutes of TA and then questions and answers. Okay, right? Savings and investing. So why save and invest when you can just borrow and spend and have, when you have a liquidity problem, the government will bail you out, right? I mean, that's what everyone else is doing, so why can't I? Right? Just like the airlines here, as you can see over here, right? So the simple reason why you can't just borrow and spend is because when you borrow $10 million, right, you can't pay it back, you have a problem. If you borrow $10 million and you can't pay it back, the bank's got a problem. Not to mention your credit rating. Since you are in the category of not being able to borrow $10 billion, probably even $10 million for that matter, you need to learn how to save and invest in an environment where everyone else gets bailed out but you. So in my last video and on Twitter, I said I would go all in on Bitcoins if I had retirement money to spend, and I said I would break it up into parts and buy some at the 10K level. And now it's down 20%. What the heck, man? What the heck? I know that's what you're thinking. Why did I say I would go all in at the top? Well, I would be happy about that because now I finally have Bitcoins, and I only put in 1/5 or 1/10 into Bitcoins. Now I can buy some more at a lower price, reducing my average buy-in, and thus I only lost in dollar terms 10% on an average buy-in with the next part that I buy in right now. And as time goes on, I can cost average down. I eventually break even in dollars, making more as price eventually starts to rise again. It's like that. I know what you're thinking, but D, you said never buy up markets. Yes, that's true. That's correct. But you didn't buy Bitcoins when they were hit 4K, did you? Nope. You thought it was going lower, didn't you? You probably bought Bitcoins at top, and you thought it was going higher, right? And that's what most people do. And this is why I decided to make an all-in video, because I did the same and bought Bitcoins at the top at $32 and watched it go down and kept buying all the way down to $2. And it worked out for me, so I think it will work again. I understand that people buy tops but not bottoms because they are greedy and fearful at the bottoms, right? So it makes sense to get you guys in at the top so that you start getting into Bitcoin and just hold. Since Bitcoin is going to make, go back there. Since Bitcoin is going to make spectacular moves in the next 12 to 18 months, there will be a time when I will say you are too late, and I will suggest you buy. I suggest you not buy, right? Because if it's too high, I'm gonna say don't buy at all. Forget it. It's too late. You can't get into the bus, right? So if I were you, I would go. I would get some Bitcoins at 10K, or I went all. If you got some Bitcoins at 10K and went all in, I'd keep I'll keep buying all as we go down, since that's exactly what I did when Bitcoin went up to $32 and way down to $2, because I knew back then that in the short amount of time Bitcoin would be worth over 1K. Yeah, I didn't think it would go to 10K. Thus, it's my hope that you decide to get some Bitcoin. All right, so next is obviously Bitcoin TA. So let's switch screens and do some Bitcoin TA for today. So what we have here is we've closed out the week on a red candle, right? We've had like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're supposed to have an 8 week of positive gains, but we didn't, unfortunately. So the market is sold off on the weekend. But the good news is we left a huge gap in the futures market. I mean, like, let's see here. Let's bring in the futures market. You can drive a plane through that gap. All right, so that's awesome. So you know that the market's going to be coming back up there. When it comes up back up there, nobody knows for sure, but you know it will get there for sure. And so, as you know, if you started buying in dollar cost averaging in from the top there, you're going to be coming back up there. So yeah, you'll be not only break even because you're putting in parts, you'll actually be up quite a bit as we buy down this market. So how low can we go on this market? Well, so far we haven't broken these trend lines that I've drawn here. I've drawn the trend line here. I've drawn it on this chart as well. Well, this trend line was a monthly trend line, and I was hoping that we'd break above that and stay and then test above that, but looks like we're not doing that. So let's stick to this one and see if we can stick above this trend line. It's okay if we break below it on a daily wick down. It would be best if we don't break it and we continue above this trend line. But again, if we break this, what you could do is buy all the way down. This could go as low as the 78.6. But I doubt that. I think the 61.8 is probably where we would go to make a nice weekly W. Yes, this is a weekly chart sometime in the next 6 weeks. Going to dailies, right? We have bounced off of this quite a few times, this trend line. If we go to the shorter time frames, you can see that failed trade there. But let's see here. We have that's this trend line here. I've redrawn the trend line, and we're bouncing off of that. Just clear out that trade again. Okay, let's zoom in a bit. There you go. We bounced off the trend line. Wow. So that's good news for price action, that we're bouncing off the trend line. Let's see if we stay above that for the next little while. I really think we might do that and bounce all the way. We could actually bounce all the way back up to close this gap. This might just be like, what Bitcoin normally does in the past, normally done after the halving, is just psyched everybody out and basically washed out all the weekends to keep going higher. So that might be the case this time around. So if you did buy your Bitcoins and up here, I would put in another part of your buy order down here as well. Even though it might go lower, that's all right. You can always take another part and buy some more. That's why I said I'd break it up into parts. Okay. With that said, let's head back to our regular scheduled programming. And so before we go into the Q&A, I want you to hit the subscribe button. And oops, that show more showed up. I want you to click the subscribe button and also click on the show more to check out the affiliate links, and click on the our library channel, and also subscribe to that as well, as a backup channel, because you never know when YouTube kicks me off permanently, right? Question and answers. Diego A. Arc asks, with your experience on the previous Bitcoin halvings, what is the correlation between altcoins and Bitcoins? Well, the last two halvings was first one was Bitcoin. Altcoins didn't exist that much, and I didn't get paid too much attention to many of the alts. But they did pump as well into the big Bitcoin pump. Litecoin, Namecoin, everything pumped into Bitcoin's blow off top of $1,300 after the first halving. In the second halving, altcoins had a normal season, a very seasonal pumps every February, March, and April, and then they would dump in May, June, and May and June basically, and then at the end of June, July, August, September, we'd see a huge pump, and altcoins would do extremely well. Then, of course, as Bitcoin started to take off, altcoins started to take off as well after the second halving. So I predict that possibly that we'll see the exact same thing happening as Bitcoin takes off. People start to get aware of it, and they realize that, oh, I can't afford a Bitcoin at $20,000. Meanwhile, they don't understand that, hey, wait a second, you can just buy parts. They will go into the altcoins, and so that's what we'll see in this next run on. All right, so Marco asks, why should we go all in on Bitcoin if ETH 2.0 is why shouldn't we go all in on ETH 2.0 if it is supposed that it will outperform Bitcoin? Yes, that's true. I believe Ethereum will outperform Bitcoin for a period, but keep in mind that Ethereum is a programmable a currency kind of or valuation, right? It's not really considered a currency. It's more of like used for smart contracts. And the issue with that is, did you know that your CPU and your Windows program, your Windows operating system, your Mac operating system, they have bugs, lots and lots of bugs. In fact, your CPU has so many bugs that somebody can actually hack in your computer and access your computer remotely because of CPU bugs, not because of just operating system bugs. And of course, there's operating system bugs as well that cause people to hack. So with that said, because Ethereum is so complex and large, there is a bigger chance that could be some sort of bug that could collapse Ethereum permanently. So you're taking a bigger risk by going all in onto Ether than you going into Bitcoin. It's a larger risk factor, so that's why I don't suggest everybody going into Ethereum, because something could go extremely wrong and collapse the whole system and cause the prices to drop, and maybe even not be able to fix it in time for them to salvage the price action. So yeah, that's why I don't think you should go all in. Well, thank you for watching, everyone. And finally, remember that with Bitcoins, I can save for retirement and know that I'll be able to buy more. Thus, my labor has been preserved. Thank you.